Hi, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Shalom. Ni hao. Namaste. Sat Sri Akal. Again, there was a good deal of pressure and a number of concerns. So, the secure and time saving option is to make a video response. And firstly, I will deal with that North Waziristan issue, from where the whole terrorism was emanating here in Pakistan, that all the army sources have confirmed that the most dangerous zone known as Shawal in North Waziristan has been captured, has been taken over by Pakistan army. Thus, Pakistan has been secured. North Waziristan was a center of terrorist activity, and once the area is now under control of Pakistan army, people of Pakistan are secure now. While saying this, it is so easy that Shawal is under control of Pakistan army now. But the sacrifices rendered by Pakistan armed forces do deserve my salutes. That was a mission impossible for any force in the world. No one else could have done all that which Pakistan armed forces men and officers have achieved there. The terrain is such that people, uh, militants operating there, become uncontrollable to any army of the world. But Pakistan SSG, it is almost mountain division 2 now. They are trained in a way that they can, in high altitudes, they can also perform well. And they did it. Now it is up to the political leadership that if they help to maintain all that by taking up necessary reforms, by taking up socio-economic measures, reform measures, to eliminate poverty from Pakistan, to eliminate unemployment from Pakistan, to eliminate discrimination from Pakistan. Thus, they can save the lives of our army officers and men. Because the more unemployment will be there, the more price hike will be there, the more people will be compelled to resort to extremism. In hardships, in hard circumstances, people, they exercise their all options to survive. Well, all those my friends who are uh, campaigning for elimination of madrasas, that religious seminaries from Pakistan, my answer to them is that you don't have to kill these people. just kill poverty, and no parents will be then compelled to throw their children in religious seminaries because of economic reasons. Most of these religious seminaries are giving refuge to the children of poor people. Very few rich from Middle East or from Pakistan, they send their children to religious seminaries. They all go to Oxford and to Hutchison here in Pakistan, and the rich ones. So we shall be very just and fair while dealing with our people. History will never forgive us for being so overwhelmed by socialist thinking, or I mean socialism or atheism. I don't have any objection on atheists whatsoever. They think it is their own opinion, their own thinking. But in my responses, I do communicate the statecraft to my viewers, my readers, and my friends in politics. The statecraft, that the art of ruling a state demands from us that we must be just and fair, to be secure by ourselves, because injustice, that as Faiz Ahmad Faiz, though he was a leftist, but I don't discriminate. If anyone says anything of some value, where the truth is there, I do appreciate. Faiz Ahmad Faiz once had said that जुल्म रहे और अमन भी हो, क्या मुमकिन है तुम ही कहो. Its translation is that tyranny cannot endure, and where the tyranny is there, no peace will be found there. So my friends in Middle East, especially in Israel, they are concerned, they want to have, their concern is they want peace for Israel. Well, what the Hitler did with Jews, that was his crime. Arabs were not allies of Hitler. They were not supporting him. And basically, the Arab culture, as much as I know, they're very loving people. They do know how to coexist with Israel. The problem is those who are involved in weapon trade. As I have defined, as I have explained earlier, that even theories of international relations like balance of power and equilibrium are having a background motivation to support weapon selling, to enhance, to increase arms race, so that weapon industry in the developed world and rest of the world can survive. Well, that is very cruel. From humans, I do not expect such cruel things. We all have brains. We can find peaceful ways to promote our economic interest. We can reverse the weapon industry, and we can have alternatives to create some other environment friendly industry, peace friendly industry. through which we humans can survive on this planet Earth. 7 billion humans, they can living on planet Earth. They love each other. Very few among them are involved in weapon trade and conspire to promote such ideas like arms race and hegemony and glory and national power and all that. The brainy ones, when they came up with this internet facility invention, they have frustrated their designs. The humans now from African continent to Asia and to Europe and to America and to Australia, they're all interconnected. They don't need any visa, any passport to talk to each other. So through Skype, they make business deals while sitting in front of each other. They exchange knowledge, they exchange information, they discuss their business interest. So that uh, fear of unknown, which was the basic plea before the weapon producers and weapon traders to exploit humans of their own country and of rest of the world. The problem of a human in African continent is the same, which here in Asia people are facing. And all of them, those who have got some little education or higher education, they are in search of truth. And they all want to have good lives too. Now we have to look into genetic causes of psychological problems. Obviously, weapon traders or those who who feel some sort of pleasure when see the human blood spreading around in bomb explosions and body parts are spreading around in bomb explosions. And they feel happy while seeing all this. And there are certain reasons behind their pleasure because some of them are involved in weapon trade, and some of them are selling security stuff, cameras and all other accessories which are these days required to uh, make the people secure, but insecure in a way that the rays is coming out of those walk-through gates and scanners, they damage human body and brain too. So we have to think deeply if we want to be honest and we want to be just and if we want to leave a good name in human history, then we have to be very fair and just. And even to live secure lives and happy lives, we must have to be very fair and just. And we shall have sense of justice. I mean, if I narrate a joke to you, here in my part of the world, people, our education system that insists upon memorizing everything, that does not make your concepts clear. So a lawyer was sitting beside me in our office. I was principal there, and that lawyer friend of mine is very innocent because memory-based education system do not create real humans who can think in a humanly way and are having a real sense of justice or injustice. So he was talking loud about corruption. Prime Minister is corrupt, President is corrupt, this one is corrupt, the other one is corrupt. And a friend of mine, uh, class fellow of mine rather, he was in a mood to get a degree in law. So he came and during the process, that lawyer friend of mine was having some portfolio there in the college. So he had taken hundreds of rupees as bribe from my class fellow that I was sitting there and I used to lecture at the law college and was principal of College of Education and vice chancellor of Al Khair University. In my presence, while talking against the president, prime minister, and rest of the Ummah, that they're all corrupt, even the Britishers and Americans, and in his eyes, everybody is corrupt. But he by himself, while taking bribe, does not feel bad. He was compelling my class fellow. And I was burst into laughter. You can't, I mean, without having a proper education system, and without, my idea is that the money which we spend on arms race and defense and all that, once we settle all our disputes uh, at regional and national and international level, then we will be having enough money to spend on education and on quality education. And from there we will be having a takeoff, the whole humanity will be having a takeoff. Once the quality education is there, that friend of mine in Middle East, he had informed me that his son has got 95% marks. And finally when he wrote a letter to me from American school, that letter was so defective, then I had to edit the whole thing because that letter was supposed to be spread as a business letter. So I had to do the editing of that. And I was just wondering that how my son can get that much marks from American school, and he pays a lot. $50,000 per year to the school. So this is, very unrealistic. I started from myself, from my own sons and daughters. And I do not, I live in a world of reality. I love my children, even if they win or lose, I love them. And they are mine. Not only my children, but the whole humanity. I love everybody. And my criteria of winning and losing is altogether different. That makes you a very shallow being if you fight to defeat others and to undermine others and to make them look miserable before you, and then you feel pleasure in it that I defeated them. These are very primitive concepts. Now, in present day world, your victory is that the whole humanity is prosperous, happy, and in peace. So I believe in collective victory, win-win situation for everybody. Because without it, you cannot live in peace. When those socialists, they exploit that point of haves and have-nots and then create a class conflict to bring in revolution. Sometimes they succeed. They have succeeded in Soviet, in Russia, in China, in North Korea, in Cuba, in Eastern Europe. They had forced the people to accept communism on tanks, Russian tanks. They had entered there after Second World War, but in China, people had accepted that ideology willingly, and those who were unwilling to accept that ideology, they were all killed. To secure the whole humanity from this extremism of varied nature, socialism, communism is one extreme. Religious extremism is another extreme. To save the humanity from both these extremes, we need an education system, a quality education system where our concepts of our children are clear. You know, the one who knows what the friendship is, what the love is, what the humanity is. Once your concept about it is clear, then you automatically start acting in a manner in which you can justify your all these gestures, assertions, and you can start practicing in that direction to achieve these goals. But once, if you have memorized all that love, peace, humanity, and all that, as a parent, you don't know actually what the humanity is all about. And here the problem lies. I love all the leadership here. Even if I am in politics, I'm being trained like this, that once your party is in power, 1800 million people of Pakistan are your responsibility. Along with their animals and properties and everything, they are your responsibility. Now you have to take care of them. What to think of unemploying them or to torturing them, that they were my opponents and they were some of them have not voted for me, or they have different ideas than me or a different vision than me. Constitutionally, once you are elected, then you are bound to. So, briefly, uh, it is a requirement. It is a requirement that if we want to have a lasting peace in the world, we must spend on education and on quality education. And without it, I don't think that we will be able to achieve that goal. And to spend on education, we have to reduce or end spendings, huge spendings on defense. And we can do that while eliminating conflicts, while enhancing more understanding between humans in the world. Once the fear of unknown is being eliminated, people of all regions will be clear about each other that we all are human beings. We have the same needs, we have the same thinking, the same responses, and same problems. So there is, I mean, no alien-like feelings regarding each other, and that fear which emanates from the unknown, that has to be evaporated. And through internet, that freedom, that fear is almost gone now. So whether Israel or rest of the people in Middle East, they're all humans and of Semitic origin. I mean, even their race is not different. They can live in peace once they understand each other. God has created them in a very beautiful shape. Though their region is very tough, desert and uh, heat, climatic conditions are very harsh there. But God has created them in a very beautiful shape. And now, with certain modern inventions, they're all having plenty of cooling in their homes, in their offices, in their schools and colleges. They're being facilitated. But there in people working in Dubai, in American schools, in other schools, I will insist that I am in a good or bad habit of checking uh, notebooks of my children, and once that I'm educated, rather too educated, so I can uh, come up with conclusions regarding the quality of teaching which is going on there. Recently, I had visited convent school of Faraz, and I had politely informed his Urdu teacher that his gender sense is not that clear. I mean, uh, he's unable to differentiate between men and women while teaching Urdu to, to the children. Now, I had taught my eldest daughter by myself, and then the knowledge flows from top to bottom. So then she has taken the charge because the schools, okay, while it comes to fees and all that, the quality is too high. But when it comes to the standard of education, then you have to build that standard. So I do expect that teachers will make themselves up to the mark and will impart quality education to all the children, including my children. Children of my friends are also my children, those who are there in the Middle East. Because I keep on checking the whole thing, you know, and I do have all the means to take stock of any wrongdoings or wrong teachings anywhere in the world. So humans are human is for air. They can also make mistakes. Everybody can make mistakes, but one shall strive to be perfect while imparting knowledge to the younger ones, because the whole world peace depends upon the quality of education which we have got and which our existing generations are younger generations are getting right now. Once our concepts about humanity is all humans are humans, And humans, by nature, they love each other. Humans, they automatically start, like many other animals. Humans are social animals. So they have a natural instinct to help other humans and to become sad on their sufferings and all that. Only psychopaths among us, they feel happy while others they suffer. Well, all my friends, FB friends, those who are in politics, especially Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is my FB friend, that Imran Bhaijan is my FB friend. Well, I'm so sad to know about Prime Minister Saab's heart problem and all that. And then I pray for his health, and he's an elder, a very kind one, and up to best of his knowledge, he's trying to help Pakistan. And wherever he is wrong, me and my journalist friends are there to point it out. In good faith, we try to let him know that he shall not repeat that mistake, so he can save himself and he can save us too. And if I think he's gentleman enough and he's broad-minded enough and he knows the value of this criticism, he's a very rich man. Though somehow, if I compare Imran Bhaijan with Mia Nawaz Sharif as a journalist, then Imran Bhaijan is much more clever than Mia Saab. Imran Bhaijan is keeping our social milieu in view. Imran Bhaijan is keeping all the money in his own account. So till the end of his life, may God give him a long life and a very healthy one, he will be in control of the situation. Children, he is giving everything to them, but money is with him. And Mia Saab, he was innocent enough. He had invested all his money in the name of his spouse, his children. And now the children are very innocent. That Hussain Nawaz Sharif on Geo TV, I heard him was saying that just to save the taxes, we have invested there in Panama. So being a son of a prime minister, and the innocent man who is now having heart problem because he had trusted you as your son, you are creating problem for him while saying this, because taking out money without from the country without fulfilling the legal requirements is called money laundering. And making efforts to save taxes, evade taxes, that is also a crime. So once your papa has trusted you with all that, now don't lead him towards total bankruptcy, because he has got nothing. And if he is out because of from prime ministership, if he is out because of this immoral stance that his children, and of course he is the one who teaches his children, if he has taught his children to evade taxes and to do money laundering, he loses all moral plus legal authority to rule this country. And if everything is in the name of Maryam, in Hassan and Hussain Nawaz Sharif, and that our Honorable First Lady, once the Mir Sahib is out from his Prime Minister house, where will he go? He has got nothing in his name. And if you guys, children, if you guys became bit rude or cruel with him, what will be his future? So he is very loving and kind to you, and whatsoever will be his end, I mean, my love cannot save his chair. If he did something really wrong, he has to face the music, and I can't save him at this stage. Nobody can save him at this stage. It is his luck that those who are opposing him, they are also involved in tax evasions and all type of other. I mean, we don't have proper political parties here. We have hereditary political mafias which start fighting when the election is there. Well, the whole bureaucracy, the army, of course, we are also part of this society, and once the people are not aware of this fact, only we cannot take the whole responsibility to face 5, 6 mafias at a time. Sometimes we do, but then martyrdoms, journalists martyred, bureaucrat martyred, armed, armed forces people martyred, because most of the militants are having links with these political mafias in one way or another. So they are already non-entities in the books of bureaucracy and army. Well, if the awareness spreads among public regarding it, they will be nowhere. So the better course of action for them is that they should mend their fences. I had, they already know, but I had taught the whole thing in previous videos that each political parties, we must not copy everything from Great Britain, or I always believe in something new. Say, my guideline to them is that they shall hold inter-party elections. Their chairman shall be elected one. For candidacy, their enrolled party members shall vote for numerous candidates who are willing to contest even National Assembly and Provincial Assembly seats, even local government seats. So by this way, the best will come up and their legal status will be retained. They will become acceptable for bureaucracy and army too. Because we all know Constitution, what Constitution says, they must have their own funds, people must, they shall make themselves acceptable to the majority of the people by enrolling them, not by force. If the people are attracted towards them and they feel like getting enrolled in their party as members and are willing to provide them funds, then they will become a proper political party acceptable to all of us. So the factual position is really, and in the neighborhood, even in India, the situation is so bad. The Gandhi family was throughout, even now, that widow of Rajiv Gandhi is chief of the Congress I. So they don't have, they too don't have any democracy within their political ranks, political party. That is the reason behind non-resolution of Kashmir conflict and all other outstanding issues between India and Pakistan, because the best does not come up in political leadership, and those who are employed in bureaucracy, in army, they are being compelled along with the rest of the population to take oath of allegiance to the hereditary leader of a political party, which is mostly caliph-like, Islamic caliph-like setup. In Islamic Republic of Pakistan, we are only loyal to Constitution and State of Pakistan. We are not supposed to take any oath of loyalty or allegiance to any individual. Our we are honorable people. We have a contract among us in shape of constitution. We cannot be personal slaves to anybody. My opinions can be different. Me and Nawaz Sharif, his opinion can be different, but we are still friends. Imran Bhai can think in other way, but we still love each other. We are from the same country. And even as humans, we like each other. So, this thinking which is prevailing here in India and Pakistan is primitive in nature. We have to change this thinking. Already on the ground, the systems which we have are quite modern. Constitutionalism is a new concept of a modern world. The old ideas are monarchy, caliphate, and dictatorship. So, the ideas of old-fashioned people are prevailing in a modern structure of a Pakistani and Indian state. This point, our student, younger ones shall understand this, and even the existing leadership, if they have grasped what I'm talking about, my problem will be resolved, because every day I cannot answer the same things, and I don't have any magic. Okay, I'm from upper caste and direct descendant of I mean, the most holy prophet of Muslims. But it does not mean that I do have any magic. My masters in international politics with a specialization in South Asia and Middle East have helped to promote peace here in Middle East, in South Asia. I always had pleaded for it, and I always come up with solutions. I rarely criticize in a personal sense. Well, whatsoever the mistakes are, we are duty bound, Associated Press of Pakistan. If they pay me, or if I have got, or my family has got some respect in society, that is because of my contributions towards society. Not in a spiritual sense, though I have a great regard for all this, all spiritual beings. But, I apply my knowledge to resolve their problems. The modern knowledge which I have attained. My MPhil is in US studies. I had to study that US economy, foreign policy, politics, constitution and everything. And then I had to write a thesis that was China. The topic of it was China as a factor in Pak-US relations. So I had to go deep into Chinese politics and ideology and everything. So to understand me, you must have some knowledge too. And I know that uh, I try to be as simple as possible. I'm not using that vocabulary which mostly we use in lecture halls of our universities and colleges to make the even the ordinary people understand. And ordinary people, including those friends of mine whom are doctors by profession and computer scientists and all, because this is not their field. Politics is not their field. So I try to uh, be as simple in assertions as possible. So one thing which I do appreciate in Mia Saab and in others, Imran Bhaijan and all other newcomers in politics, that yesterday processions which were held in Islamabad and Karachi simultaneously, proper parks were engaged for the people, no roads were blocked, and nobody was in a problem. That spirit shall be there. We must learn fastly. We learn how to facilitate each other. We must not be a hindrance in a way of each other. Like good humans, we shall strive to facilitate each other in our good deeds. Then tolerance of Mia Saab, that he has not resorted to any violence against Imran Bhaiya, because in Lahore they had opened fire on Allama Saab's followers, religious seminary students or Islamic university students. That was his institutions. Institutions of Allama are a conglomeration of religious and scientific studies at one time. So at least 14 students were killed. So this time Mia Saab is now he is learning fastly that he does not react in a very cruel manner. It is a beauty of democracy, rather it is a blessing of democracy when people, they assert themselves, when they express themselves. In language of psychology, they call it catharsis. When they come, they demonstrate, they make speeches, they shout slogans, they express their anger, and then become normal beings, and they become more normal when their concerns are being addressed by the rulers. Suppression is an open invitation to bloodshed and revolution. In a present day world, nobody can suppress such a large population with bullets and guns. So I think that my effort regarding Pakistan is also bringing fruit. Some of them are also talking in my language too, so nobody has quoted me so far. Even the things which I have done for my country, overtly and covertly, never ever a credit was given to me. The, the, uh, the credit which I had received or honors which I have received, that was in USA. The system is so unfair here that you do anything and they will say that no. Even the joke is that Masood Kosar uncle, when he was governor of KPK, he had inaugurated here a park near Kuwait University of Science and Technology. And someone else went there and had put his own name on that park. That park was named after Ahmad Faraz uncle. Then again, the long struggle was launched, and the that park is again renamed after Faraz uncle. Ahmad Faraz uncle was a great poet and a brother of Masjid Kausar uncle. So people are so fond of putting their stamps on achievements of others. Even sometimes I get worried about my children, children of my friends in Middle East and here in Kohat. I consider them, all 13 children, are my sons and daughters. And God has created them in such a beautiful shape. Whenever I take this Faraz and Mahaz along with me, many a times, in weddings, people, they just drag them, and some of them, they try to be their Papa-like creatures. One was acting like Papa Faraz, and I was just, I left him doing so. He was talking like Papa do, as I do talk to Faraz. And if you have got beautiful and intelligent children, they also want your children to be their children. This is somehow, it's really very crazy. I'm being taught like this, I'm being trained like this. I never look towards woman, property, and wealth of others. My possessions are my possessions. The possessions of my friends are their possessions. They shall enjoy that. I never make any claim or never try to capture their possessions. I even never, I do not, my mom here in Pakistan, the mom which had adopted me there, and my sisters there in USA, off and on, though they are all Christians and one is atheist, they tell me, keep your gaze low. Whenever I'm attracted by some beauty, and then I tell them, okay, I'm a Muslim, I do joke around with my relations too. So me, I'm Muslim, I can have four, and if she's not a wife of someone, then I can bid. So even then, I'm not allowed. I mean, even across the border, I have sisters, Muslim sisters, and they do take care of my. I mean, if I ever try to forget the lessons mom had taught me, the sisters are there to remind me all that. And to be honest, fair, I never, ever had made any violation of moral nature or of legal nature concerning properties and wives of others or children of others. So we must learn all this to have a peace in society, at world over, because those little things are sometimes become, those little things become cause of major wars and problems between nations even. So we all must be very responsible and careful in all our relations, and we shall utilize our brains to earn as much as possible. We shall enjoy every legitimate venue. We shall not go for bad deeds, and by this way we can have a lasting peace everywhere. Not only in the Middle East or all around the world. If people become responsible, educated, and of understanding the whole, if become potent enough to understand the whole problem among humans, as I have narrated earlier regarding the interest of weapon sellers, those who are psychopaths and feel happy while causing misery to the other humans. If the majority of the humans living on planet Earth, if their concept becomes clear that more interaction, more education uh, can lead them towards eternal peace, then the pace regarding the pace of peace processes initiated by UN, regional organizations at different levels, that will be become that pace will become much greater. That pace will be accelerated rather. So uh, peace was a major concern of some of my friends, and hopefully I have communicated the whole uh, response. There are certain other aspects which are too tricky and sensitive in nature, okay, but are necessary for lasting peace. In primitive world, sacrifice, the word sacrifice was having a big importance. In present day world, in our dictionaries, there is no word which is compatible with the word sacrifice even. It is all your expertise, it is all your education which makes you useful for the humans, for yourself, your family, and all that. If you are intelligently doing everything, well, fine. But once your brain stops working and you go towards superstitious world, state of mind, then you will start thinking in terms of sacrificing human blood over a goddess, which is a religious practice there in India, that Kali Devi, that black goddess, she demands human blood for salvation of humans. Your MBA from a good university is enough for salvation. Then there are poets, authors, whom are bent upon leading towards sacrifice our men who are responsible for our security. No, man. The trainings which are being imparted to you, my security fellows, security forces fellows, the trainings which are imparted to you, the weapons which you have, the protection equipment which you have, that's enough. Never try to shed your blood. Pakistan or any other country does not need your blood. They need your expertise to save this country. And we want you alive to help your family to remain be useful to your family and to yourself too. Your life is also precious and we love you. We want Take your training seriously, wear everything that bulletproof jackets, helmets while on mission. If there are some deficiency, I by myself can report to Islamabad or inform me as a correspondent of Associated Press of Pakistan. That is all my duty. The police which had received here trainings and that equipment, that was all written by me. Uh, so I had to report all your problems too. You have your own mechanism, try to your chief, do all that. But we are all part of the system and we can help each other. So that sacrifice, that traditional concept of sacrifice that the God forbid the country is like a goddess and you have to shed human blood over it, your blood over it to save it. No, your blood is not required at all. Your brain, your muscles are required. Your expertise is required. So be clear in your mind. That superstition is making humanity suffer a lot. Who will be responsible for all these widows and children and orphans? Once everybody start thinking in terms of shedding blood, or even politicians, they think, some of them, that while shedding our blood, no religion approves this. Except a very primitive religion, which I have mentioned earlier, and I don't want to hurt sentiments of any section of society. Those who believe in the black goddess and Kali Mata, it is their own life. But what my duty is to steer their thinking. If they are doing something very irrational and very unrealistic, how blood can human blood can help saving a country? And it is my advice to you that even while dealing with adversary, try to capture them. Don't kill them all. And let me give you a lesson in love from the history of Cold War between Soviet Union and America. They were all fighting each other, but that war was a psychological war, that was economic warfare, and they were using their secret organizations to achieve their war objectives. Hot pursuits were very little. That you can see the example of hot pursuit between Soviet Union and America. That was in Afghanistan, but that was indirect proxy war fought by Soviets. Soviets were directly involved, but Americans had fought a proxy war through Arabs, Muslims, and Pakistani Muslims and other Afghan Muslims. So even in that war, the agents of KGB and CIA, when they were coming across each other, if the KGB agent was trying to escape, that love of profession, CIA agents and KGB agents, they're agents. So as professionals, they have some sort of love for a person who is of their profession, but from a enemy country or a country of adversaries. But they used to hate them in leg. Never ever they had blown each other, heads of each other. Even American soldiers in Vietnam, they were fighting. They were fighting in the air. I have seen movies. They were unwilling to kill Vietnamese. They love humanity. They are all humans. So till the time that love spreads over the whole world and the war goes, the war becomes an obsolete phenomena. Till then, we have to defend our countries. We have to protect our people, and these dogmas like sacrifice, human sacrifice, and blood, this is all nonsense. Expertise is required. Take a degree from a good university in politics, and you don't have to shed your blood while leading your people to make your coming generation leaders of your hereditary institutions. You will be able to make a political party having democracy in it. Just spend some money on your education of your children. We have Oxford, we have Cambridge, and we have other universities too. Even Qaid-e-Azam University is not bad these days. So I hope that I have created some light in this all this discussion, uh, which is though indirect, but the questions regarding it was coming through FB friends, and so uh, I think I have tried to do some justice with the topic. In the end, I wish all of you all the best, and rest assured, I love all of you. 700 billion, 7 billion humans on Earth are my concern. I'm trying to help out everybody, whatsoever my resources, my contacts, my powers are. I wish all of you all the best once again.